Do you remember the goals that you set back in January? The ones that you're really excited about starting at the beginning of the year? If you're like most of us, myself included, these goals may have fallen off the radar just a tad, but that's okay, right? Life happens. Let me tell you the good news though, there is still plenty of time to crush those goals that you had. And fall is actually the perfect season to get back on track with those healthy habits. Now I know what you're thinking, why fall? Shouldn't we do this in January or even the spring? Actually, no. Fall is actually the perfect season to bring on these healthy habits. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you why fall is the perfect season to pick these healthy habits back up. And I'm going to give you 4 practical tips that you can use to get back on track and make sure that you crush those goals this year. So why is fall the actual best time to, approach your goals and just go all in on them? And in order to explain this, I actually want to break down all the other seasons first before we get to fall. So starting with winter, right? I called it winter exhaustion, right? And the reason it's winter exhaustion is, right, normally it's family time, it's holidays, it's cold, right? Not a ton of enthusiasm, not a ton of motivation to go, especially to the gym when it's cold outside, or you might be a little bit tired from hanging out with the family too often, or you might be just financially spent where you just really can't invest the resources into a new program, a coach, or whatever you might need. So, right, during the wintertime, a lot of people find it really hard to stick to their, health goals or whatever they have going on. So, okay, cool. Winter might not be the best time, but what about spring? Spring, on the other hand, I call it spring cleaning. So we actually are going to use this guy here. We have spring cleaning, which is essentially, right, during this time of the season, during the spring, we are cleaning, we're organizing, and we're decluttering. Not really around this idea of health or trying to improve our habits or routines, but rather just trying to get organized, trying to declutter from the winter, everything that's piled up over that period of time. Okay, so cool. Spring might not be the best time. Might not be the best time. What about summer? Now we have summer. This one is called summer distractions, right? So during this period of time, right, we want to be outside, we're going on vacation, we're going to barbecues and hanging out with friends, right? This is probably not the best time to focus on our goals, habits, routines, or anything along those lines. And so, right, that leaves us with fall. And so why is fall the best time to approach these health goals? Now, fall, right, we just got done. There's 2 reasons why fall is the best here. Number 1 is we just got done with a relaxing, fun summer where we got to be outside, we got to go on vacations, we had some barbecues, we kind of revitalized ourselves, so to speak, right? And not only that, right? So we're coming off this relaxing period of time, but, right, we all have this, right, period of time where we go to school, we plan our courses, we get new notebooks, we are, getting ready for a new year, right? So we kind of all have this back to school mindset. And so these 2 in tandem, right? The relaxation piece of summer and coming out of that wind down period, and then also this kind of back to school mentality, both of those in tandem just make for the most optimal opportunity for you to just turn inside, focus on those health goals, and absolutely crush them for the rest of 2024. All right, cool. So we understand that fall is an ideal time for us to pick up these habits again. So that being said, let's talk about 4 practical tips that you can use to start hitting your goals by the end of the year, right? Okay, cool. So tip number 1 is going to be setting up systems. Creating systems around things like meal prepping or making sure that you have your workouts organized and ready to roll. These are all going to make it so that you just have to take daily action to make sure that you're actually going to hit your goals by the end of the year. Okay, so, right, here are the systems that I'm actually going to personally use going into the next couple of months to try and hit my own physique goals by the end of the year. 3 things that I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I am meal prepped. I want to make sure that my fridge is so convenient that it's just like a drive-through, right? I can hit that thing and I can get my meal and I can get out, right? The vegetables are chopped, the protein is cooked, the carbs are already separated, right? Whatever it might be, right? That system is already set up for me in the form that, right, my refrigerator is just easy and convenient for me to make sure that I am eating the nutrition that I need to make sure that I hit my goals. Number 2 is I am tracking. Part of my system is going to be making sure that I am tracking my weight and tracking my calories. Both of these are going to allow me to get more information and more feedback to see, hey, am I progressing along my path or am I not, right? And finally, I'm going to make sure that I stick to some sort of gym schedule. Of course, this is flexible, right? But more or less what I want to do is I want to make sure that I created a system so that, right, other things don't become obstacles in front of me getting into the gym, right? So what that might look like is blocking out my calendar for an hour and making sure that that hour is dedicated to me going to the gym or getting a workout or going for a bike ride or something along those lines. Okay, so those are going to be the 3 systems that I'm setting up going into the next couple months to make sure that I hit my goals. So tip number 2 is actually going to be self-monitor. Monitor yourself, right? Tracking your food, your weight, taking progress pictures, taking body measurements. These are all forms of monitoring yourself. So one of my favorite quotes is, what gets measured gets managed. And in what this means is, right, if you're measuring your food, you're taking your weight every morning, right, you can manage these inputs and outputs to make sure that you're getting the results that you want in the time frame that you want to have them happen. So here's what I'm self-monitoring for the next 3 to 4 months. I'm going to be tracking my food. I'm going to use an app called Cronometer to track my food. I'm going to use my scale to track my weight. I'm going to take weekly progress pictures. And I'm also going to take weekly body measurements as well. These 4 things, my food, my weight, my progress pictures, and my body measurements, all of these I'm going to make sure that I'm continuing to self-monitor and I'm adjusting appropriately, as need fit. Tip number 3 in going into the next couple of months is going to be practice nutrition by addition, not restriction, right? And really what this boils down to is, right, rather than focusing on, oh, I can't have this, oh, I have to restrict this, or, oh, how am I going to fit in the calories for an ice cream? What I would rather us focus on is focusing on making sure that we're getting all the vegetables that we need, all the lean proteins that we need, all the fruit that we need, all the whole grains, beans, nuts, seeds, legumes, that we are getting all the vitamins, all the fiber, all the minerals, antioxidants that our bodies need to make sure that all the processes are running efficiently and effectively. So, right, rather than practicing this kind of restrictive mindset, I need to lose weight or I need to stop eating so much, right? No, we're focused on making sure that we're getting all of these food groups to ensure that we're getting all the possible nutrients that we need. Tip number 4 is going to be focus on strength training. I swear, this is probably going to be the most impactful thing on this entire list is focusing on strength training. I feel like oftentimes when everyone is focused on weight loss, myself included, it's like, how can I lose as much weight as possible? How can I do this as quick as possible? But rather than focusing on that piece, what I would rather you do is, right, focus on making sure that you're getting the nourishment that you need and make sure that you're focusing on strength training. You're building muscle, you're building strength, you're getting stronger during this process. You're not just starving yourself and getting super weak and fatigued in the process. You've still got time to hit your goals by the end of the year. And it's the ideal season to do this, right? We're not worried about the summer. We're not worried about the winter. We're not worried about the spring. Fall is where it's at. We are here now and you can crush them, right? With the steps that we've outlined in this video. In addition, right, I've got another video for you on, planning out your dieting phase or planning out your weight loss phase, right? Which you can check out here. All that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed and we'll catch you in the next one.